Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wildly Passionate, Wildly Profitable with Fia-Lynn. We are broadcasting tonight from Self Connection in Calgary, Alberta. I am your host and moderator, Michael Finch. Before we start, I would like to just tell you a couple of things about Fia-Lynn. Firstly, she is the author of the forthcoming book, The Wealthy Healer, which we are all looking forward to. And she is the owner of a multi-six-figure healing business. And over her time, she has worked with people new to business all the way to multi-million-dollar business owners. So she covers a very large spectrum regardless of where you are. And she can help you and has helped them create income leaps from the inside out. That is what she does. She does that because she did that for herself. And if you go and read her story, you'll see that a couple of years ago she was struggling and basically learned all of these techniques through her own need. I met her a year ago at a workshop where we were both participating, and I was so impressed with her work that I decided to take her workshop that she was teaching in Kelowna last summer. And based on the success of that, my wife also went to her workshop last fall. What I love about Fia-Lynn is her level of intuition. And she talks and works from the heart. She can tell you things about you that you don't know about you. And in fact, a little known thing about her is that she is also a numerologist. This spring, she gave me a reading on my numbers, my name, and my birth date, and told me that to step into my power, I had to change my name from Mike to Michael. I have done that. That is how much I trust her. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a real pleasure to give you Fia-Lynn.
Okay, so let's jump into trap number 3 that stops coaches and healers from making the awesome money they desire and deserve. And that is I can really spell, but sometimes when I get up here, it goes out the window. What does that say, please? If you can read it. Thank you. That says prioritizing. Yes. Not prioritizing passion. This is trap number 3. So let's first talk about what passion is. To me, there are 2 components to passion as it relates to business. So let's talk about those. First one is what, please? Thank you. Enjoyment. Like having a deep sense of enjoying what you do, your work, but also all aspects of your work. I believe it's not just about working with clients that's your favorite thing, it's all aspects. So deeply enjoying everything that you do as a part of your business is the first one. The second one is what, please? Thank you. Connection to impact. Having a connection, ideally a deep connection to the impact you're here to create in this world and in your clients' lives. That is a real key to passion. I asked in the beginning, how many of you started your business to do what you love? I don't think many of you just started your business just for money alone. Is that true? Yeah, exactly. So there is always a connection to impact. And when you're in your passion, you're actually connected to the impact that you're here to make on a regular basis, which brings a lot of passion. Okay, so again, to see a raise of hands, how many of you started your business to do what you love? Okay, awesome, thank you. So in my experience, what I have seen is that there's a huge challenge that this poses. Without many people knowing this, I've seen this repeatedly. In my experience, I have seen that it's actually, if you start your business to do what you love, it's actually a requirement that you love it. Okay, I'm going to explain this in a couple different ways so it makes sense. So For a coach or a healer, for someone who's in business to create transformation in the world and in people's lives, two things are absolutely, completely linked. And that is what does that say, please? Passion. Thank you. Passion is completely and absolutely linked to what, please? Thank you. To profit. These two are completely linked. So I'm going to explain this over a little bit of time so it makes total sense. So what do I mean by this? For coaches and healers, they must actually have passion there in order to have profit. And it shows up in a number of different ways, but there must be passion in order for there to be profit, in most cases. What I have seen repeatedly is that when I'm in my passion and when my clients are in their passion, and when that's sustained over time, there is a momentum that happens where they become unstoppable. It's like a force. And that passion sustained over time is what creates the wildly passionate, wildly profitable, not just money. To have a lot of money. Make sense? Okay. Momentum, when passion is sustained over time, momentum happens. And momentum is completely magnetic. It's completely magnetic. It's magnetic to your ideal clients. It's magnetic to the people who are here to connect you with your potential clients. Like in some world, in my world, we call that joint venture partners or referral partners. It's when you're in momentum, you attract those people easily. The other thing that momentum is magnetic to is opportunities. Opportunities that wouldn't come about if you weren't in a state of passion consistently over time. Make sense? Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's talk about how this shows up in business, this particular link, because it might not make sense. Some people think, hey, I'm totally in my passion. Why is the money not there? And they say, do what you love and the money will follow. Yet some people don't find that the case. So let's talk about that. Okay, in order to link profit to passion, you must learn money generating skills. Money generating skills. So you need to learn how to market, which is connecting with your people. You need to learn how to sell. So that's just something in business that in the coach and healer world, we sometimes try and pretend we don't need to do. In my experience, it absolutely is necessary in order to link these two. Otherwise, there cannot be the profits. So marketing to me is a great thing. It allows your people to find you. So that's really all that marketing is. It's like, hey, here's my person that it needs that I can be helped by. That's really what it comes down to. Okay. Sales allows the people that you're meant to work with to be able to step up and invest in themselves and the transformation they're meant to experience from you by working with you. So those are just the basic money generating skills. Without money generating skills, this link does not exist. Make sense? Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, so that's the first piece. The second piece, and I'm talking about passion a lot because passion to me, we start our business to do what we love, and somewhere along the way, a lot of us, it tends to fall off as we do money generating skills and things like this. So, and that ends up sabotaging the profits in the end as well. Okay, so once you get the money generating skills down, then these two are linked. There's another thing that happens that's connected to passion as well, which is why I'm talking about passion so much here tonight. And I believe it's specific for those in business to create transformation in people's lives. As coaches and healers, those who are here to create transformation in the world, your work is linked to your purpose, right? It's linked to your higher purpose. You're not just selling widgets. There's actually an impact, there's a purpose there that is your purpose and that is meant to be received by the other person, which is their purpose in connecting with you. That means your work must be connected to your purpose, and it must stay connected to your purpose over time. Okay, so what the heck does that have to do with passion? Oops. My flip chart brain is gone at the moment. Hopefully it'll come back. Okay, what does that say, please? Purpose. Yes, purpose, not passion again. Okay, purpose. Passion is linked with purpose. So what I have seen in like the, I don't know, almost 11 years I've been in business is that passion is an indicator of if you're on purpose or not. Passion is an indicator of if you're on purpose or not. Make sense? Okay. Your passion and your enjoyment of the work that you do is an indicator of how on purpose you are, how connected to your purpose that you are. If you're bored or if you're disconnected from your passion, then that can indicate that perhaps you're off purpose. Perhaps you've fallen off at some point. So this is a real indicator of if you're on purpose or not. So let's talk about this trap. Number 3, not prioritizing passion. It shows up in a few ways. Let's say someone is new to business. That's most often when someone is connected to their passion in the beginning. They're like, I'm going to do what I love, right? And that's typically where the most passion tends to start, in the beginning at least. Most coaches and healers realize, I actually need to market and sell my services. I need to actually do that. So what can happen is what I've seen repeatedly is in the learning of how to sell, in the learning of how to market, they tend to put that as a priority above the passion. It's like, I have to make money, otherwise I have to go back to my job. I have to make money, otherwise I have to live with my mom, right? Sound familiar to anyone? Okay, yes. So I know this was top priority. I was like, who cares about the passion? I gotta make money. I can't go back to the engineering job. So yeah, that it tends to get prioritized above passion. And that's unfortunate because that is actually the trap. While this might work for a while, what I've seen repeatedly, and this is like rampant in the coaching and healing industry, even at the top levels, is that doing that over time, it really does cut into, first of all, the purpose. The purpose is like if there's if there's less passion, there's less purpose. And over time, if there's less passion, there's less, I'm going to get up out of bed and I'm going to share my work with the world. There's less of that. So then the profits tend to go down. Or they're just like basically in a job that they tried so hard to get out of, and then they created a job for themselves. Make sense? Yeah, these two are completely linked. So he asked for those on the live stream, if there's less purpose, there's less passion as well. Absolutely. Like these two are completely connected, and they're probably indicators of each other. And yeah, it's good to look at both for sure. Okay. Yes, and if you prioritize marketing and sales, like making money, over passion, you're prioritizing over purpose as well. That's another connection. And I've seen this. It's like I've seen stories where people went from making like tons of money to going bankrupt in a very short time because they prioritized the money and they lost track of their purpose, which is really sad. I mean, they're in business to help people and then they go bankrupt. That makes no sense. Okay. So passion cannot, just in order to make money, you cannot let this go. It's an important ingredient that is crucial to have in your business. So as you learn how to market and as you learn how to sell in more and more powerful ways, this must be still a part of it. Okay, and how many of you have been in business for quite a while? Okay, that's a good portion of you. And I don't know how many on the live stream, but I imagine a few as well. Okay, thank you. So I have seen the not prioritizing passion at play the most in this group, people who have been in business for a long time. So let's talk about how that can show up. Often they get into a groove of like, this works, so I'll keep doing this. Without, over time, their passion tends to decrease because they're prioritizing what works above the passion. Make sense? And this is, I see this all over the place, but especially at the high level. They're like, well, but it works. But then they lose the passion and they're like, why the heck do I even have this big machine of a business here? Okay? So what happens is they don't evolve their business as they grow to stay connected to their purpose. And so the passion goes down. And there is no greater draining feeling than trying to keep up a machine or try and keep up something that has no more passion in it. Like, what the heck? We start a business to love it, not just to be drained all the time. Recently, I was in a room full of over 100 industry leaders in the coaching and healing industry. And I heard multiple occasions where people were talking about doing what works and being afraid to change something. And losing the passion and being bored. Losing the connection to their purpose. Why am I even doing this? And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, that's happening at the highest level for sure. It's happening at the more the newbie stage too. So it's really sad. And I was actually one of them. So for me personally, I've been doing what has worked for so long. And there's a trap number 2. We'll talk a little bit more about where some of that can really come in for a lot of people. But I've been doing what works for so long that I have often forgot to listen to the nudges that are like, turn it a little bit this way or add this in or anything like that. So I have myself ignored these little nudgings along the way. And every time I do this, I get slammed because I believe the universe is watching a little carefully over me. And the further I get away from the higher plan, the higher purpose, what's needed right now, the more this decreases. And then all of a sudden my passion goes down. And so does the profit. So it's really sad. Okay. And remembering that passion needs to be prioritized is the way to get out of this. And the first step is awareness. So I would love for you to just stay out of this trap and to not have to experience what I have experienced, where the profits just start to go down because I've forgotten about my passion or I've forgotten about, hey, my work needs to evolve over time. Okay, so let's talk about how to get you out of this so that you can actually have a wildly passionate, wildly profitable business that you really do love. So the first step is awareness. So for those of you who don't have paper, grab a pen and paper if you're at home. We've got paper and pens at the back. If you don't have that, just put your hand up and Layla can help you out. Okay, cool. So let's do a prioritizing passion quiz. So you can do this anytime. Can we turn the heat down? Is it possible to turn the heat down? Okay, cool. I'm hot. Are you guys hot? Okay. If you guys are hot, then yeah, I'm like roasting. Usually what happens. Okay, cool. So number 1 is purpose. So go ahead and write number 1. And just do a little check-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, how passionate are you about the work you're doing with your clients? So we're looking in the purpose sector here. How passionate are you about the actual work on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being like, I absolutely love it. And if you have different programs, you can maybe grade those as well. What's your level of passion for each of your programs, the work that you're doing? How connected do you feel to your true self in the work that you're doing? Okay. Now let's look at number 2. Number 2 is passion. So we looked at purpose, now we're going to look at passion specifically. Oh, sorry, that's profits. Sorry, this is new, so there's going to be some mistakes. I'll tell you that right now. Profits. So in the way that you bring in profits and money, how passionate are you about that? So how passionate are you about your marketing? As the first one, on a scale of 1 to 10. I've got some interesting looks in the audience. Some eyes going in different directions. About your work, like, yeah, the work you do with your clients. Yeah, so the actual, if you do one-on-one work, when the client is there, what's your passion level? If you do workshops, what's your passion level? And if you have different workshops, rate your passion on each. It's really good because you can't really change something until you see what's going on. And it's one thing to say, oh yeah, just be passionate. You're like, oh, I pretty much I'm passionate. But what if there's one part of your business that's not passionate? I've had this happen to me over and over, and it drives me crazy. I forget about my passion in one of the areas, And then it ends up kicking me in the butt. And then the sales go down as well. So it's really important to look even at the details. So the first one is like the actual work that you're doing. And the second one is the profits, how you generate the money. So how passionate are you about your marketing? I hear giggles again. Okay. How passionate are you about your sales process? How good does it feel to you? Got some head shaking. Okay. 1 to 10. Okay, I'd love to hear just some shares, and maybe if you want to open up the live stream chat, Michael. So I'd just like to hear on the purpose side, how many, like, what are just some shout outs, some numbers that you're at on the purpose side, actually interacting with your clients? 9, awesome. 9, 10, woo! I want to work with you. Awesome. What have we got over here? I love it. Okay, so this is really good. The purpose side seems to be really high in the room and on the live stream, so that's awesome. Thank you for participating. Okay, someone is having a 5 on the coaching, 10 on the healing. Okay, thank you. Good awareness, right? What is up with my coaching? Why am I not connected to my passion around my purpose in a coaching scenario? So I'm going to share actually 2 tools tonight to help you get out of this trap. So even if you're at a 5 or lower, we're going to get you out of that. Okay, so let's move to the profit side. What are shout outs of some numbers? 2, 3, 9. Oh, yay. Yay, 9. Thank you. She'll just hold the energy and radiate it. Okay, and on the live stream, do we have any?
3.
Oh, 2 and 3. Wow. I was actually not expecting that. This is all new, right? So thank you for joining me in this exploration. This like fires me up more than anything. I'm like, you should love your sales and your marketing as much as you love the work that you do. I absolutely believe that. Yes. What my levels? Right now I'm like 10. Well, maybe 9.5. I do go like over the top, so there's still room for that. But yes, it's pretty high. Do I seem like I'm a 10? Yes, okay. It's up there. Okay, cool. Okay, so now go ahead and choose your lowest one, whatever that is, or whatever one you'd like to work on through this next process that I'm going to guide you through. And we're going to go through a journey with it. Okay? And actually, now that I'm saying this, we need to adjust it a little bit. Okay, I'll just we'll just open to receive some inspiration because it was geared at a little bit of a different thing. So none of you are working on your programs, right? Does anyone have a program, or on the live stream, anyone have a program where it's really low? The one had a 5 on coaching. It could work for that. But okay, let's just roll with it. We're going to go through a process to help see what's going on here. Although I'm already feeling what's going on here. I've loved marketing and sales for so long that I forget that most people don't. So anyway, maybe I need to download a lesson on that in this moment. Actually, I think I will. Okay, awesome. Awesome on the 7. Yes. And is this Maureen from Arizona? Should probably say that. Yes. Okay, cool. Hello, Maureen. And Nick. Okay. So, okay. What the heck? Why did I not foresee this? Okay. So, okay, I'm going to share this. This is just from my experience because I want to, get this really awesome, passionate marketing and sales vibe to you. I usually share this later, but I am going to redefine marketing for you because marketing seems to be a really low one. I heard a lot of 2s. So marketing in my world equals connecting with your people. Your people, the people you're meant to work with. How many of you love to work with your clients? Yes, thank you. So not liking marketing is essentially saying, I love to work with my clients, I just don't like to meet them first. They're the same people. You love them before and you love them after. Okay, so just to start to open up your mind. So that's the first piece. All it is meeting people. Like literally this event is a marketing event. Like some of you didn't even know who I was before you saw someone else's email. So you've never met me, so I'm connecting with my people. Is this fun? Yeah, it's fun. So I'm loving it. I'm not like, no, it's fun. It's supposed to be that way. Absolutely, it's supposed to be that way. Marketing is supposed to be fun. You're only supposed to do things that you love in your marketing. That's the other thing. Do I love LinkedIn? No. So do I market through LinkedIn? No. Do I love email? No. So that would probably involve email, and that would probably not work. So, do I love videos? Yes. I love videos. I love speaking. So these are the things that I do. I don't do anything I don't love. And what I'd love to leave you with in this moment before we continue on with the exercise is what ways do you actually like? What things do you like to do that are connected to marketing? And to trust, maybe you don't know in this moment, to trust that there are ways for you to market that you will absolutely love. Because all it is meeting your people, and your people are really cool. Like, you guys are cool. You guys are cool. Meeting you is cool. Why would it not be cool? Like, that makes no sense. Okay, so does that help even soften it a little bit? Okay, good. Thank you. Got some nods. And sales too. Sales to me is this sacred process where the people who are absolutely going to be transformed by your work, because it's not about you, it's about them. The people who are going to be transformed by your work actually say yes to themselves and to getting the help that they have been craving for God knows how long. And when you see it like that as more of a magical process instead of just this like strategic get them to buy, which I do not see sales as, it becomes this beautiful thing. And I think it's our responsibility as coaches and healers to do whatever it takes to be good at marketing and sales so that these people who need what you have can find you, which is marketing, and work with you, which is sales. Make sense? Okay. That was a little bit of what I call a Fia-Lynn blast. That just is needed sometimes. Because yeah, absolutely. And have that be in your mind that if you're going to learn marketing and sales, which I recommend everyone do, find a way that feels absolutely good for you. Because I'm holding that vision for each of you. It's supposed to feel good. If it doesn't feel good, something is wrong. Make sense? Because it's just meeting the cool people that you're going to work with. That's all. Okay, that's enough of the blast. Okay, this first exercise seems quite irrelevant unless you're working on your program. Okay, we're gonna do it anyway, and I'll just amp it up as we go. Okay, so go ahead and choose the area that is the worst. If it's marketing or sales, or if you don't have one and you're like, whoa, a marketing or sales system, go ahead and have that in your mind. And go ahead and close your eyes. If you feel like it, unless you're driving on the live stream. Okay. What is your current picture of what this particular area is? What are your thoughts and feelings about this particular aspect of your business? What comes to mind when you think about it? You can write down some notes if you like. So, given what I shared, that there is absolutely a way for you to market, again, connect with the people you're meant to work with, that actually feels really absolutely good to your core. Given that, have there been any nudgings on perhaps ways this area could look? Have you been feeling any promptings like maybe I could do video even if I'm a little freaked out? Maybe I could do a workshop even if it freaks me out. Have there been any inner nudgings? And just close your eyes if you need to connect with that feeling or what those nudgings may have been. If there was a way to do it that you absolutely loved, what might that be? And if you don't have anything yet, just close your eyes and open to receive an answer now. Okay, good. And go ahead and open your eyes. So we're just starting to soften it, because I know, I forgot how bad it was. I used to be there too. So anyone have any insights that have come up just through this process? Just a quick share. Yes. Okay, cool. Oh, yes. We got music and dance from Janie. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 Okay, cool. So we've got one about not sharing a sense of urgency. And it's interesting because if you actually share a sense of urgency and you can break through that, then that's where the passion is. Yeah, exactly. You're not getting that sense of urgency out of them. Why they need change now. Yes. And I love that because that goes back to what I had shared before. It's the connection to the impact. Like you actually got to get to a place where you're connected to the impact for the passion to really show up for you and for them as well. Yes. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay. All right. So let's go to a next process that is going to, I feel like I'm going to like make a new process. I'll send it to you to help with the first part there. Okay. So the final process, there is actually a child inside of each of you, okay, that knows only joy and only passion. And even if you've gone through traumatic experience as a child, as I have, there is still within that child, there is still a knowing of what is joy and what is passion, right? Often that part gets put to the side in this whole business building experience. Inside that child is a connection to a natural joy and enjoyment that is inherent within you. We want that child to come out in your business. I connected with my inner child before I came. I was like, what's important to you? She's like, we have to have fun. Okay, cool. So I'm making sure I have fun. And hopefully you will too. By me having fun, you will have fun. Okay, imagine that kind of energy was in your marketing. Actually seeing the joy. Maybe you can take something that's not even joyful at all and bring the passion out of it. Maybe something that you thought was boring actually becomes playful and exciting. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. I invite you to close your eyes and imagine that you're going to be introduced to your most pure, innocent, absolutely joy-filled child that you used to be. You're about to be introduced to this child. Imagine being in a beautiful spot in nature, or perhaps a beautiful spot in your home if that feels better. Envision that the child starts to walk up to you, the kid that you once were that is filled with total absolute joy, excited about the tiniest of things. See her or him coming to you, and go ahead and ask your inner child, what is the most joyful part of my business as it is? What does it love? And you can go ahead and write that down if you like. Ask this child what he or she loves about it. Ask him or her, what is something in your business that doesn't feel as good as it could? That doesn't feel as good as it could. What specifically doesn't feel good? Just open to receive whatever comes up. And go ahead and ask him or her what is his or her suggestion in how to bring more joy into this area. This part of you knows only joy and fun. How could it be more fun? How could it be more enjoyable? And see what you receive as the response. Yes, thank you. So ask your child, your inner child, what advice she or he has to bring more joy into this area. How could it be done more joyfully? Children are creative, open to receive whatever insights come. Now take a moment to open your mind to what action you could take to bring more of this joy and this passion that she has shared or he has shared. What's an action you can take to integrate this when you go back home? Go ahead and write that down. Okay, good. So, children just like have fun, they have joy, and they also, if they don't like something, they'll just say, I don't like doing that, right? So if you're trying to force them to do things they don't like, they're going to tell you. And I believe in your business, this goes on. If you keep doing things that aren't joyful and the kid in you is like, this is boring, it starts to sabotage this whole process. So anyone want to share any ideas or insights that came through this exercise? Connect with more people. Thank you. Your child actually wants to market. I love it. Yay. We've got one. Awesome. Thank you. Cool. Anyone else want to share? Or anyone on the live stream? What's that? The same. So we've got two. Yeah. So they actually love it and they just want to connect with more. I love it. The kids in us want us to succeed and reach more people. Any questions on there? Okay, or shares, I mean. Yeah. Sure.
Wow, so Jayla says to create a hip hop meditation video with a child in my neighborhood.
Yay! Jale, I just did your meditation yesterday, so thank you for sending it to me. I love it. Yay, that's so fun! Like, how could you not have fun if you're doing a hip-hop meditation? First of all, just doing that. but then adding the kid in it? Yeah, awesome. Yay, I love it. Anyone else?
Not yet?
Okay, we're good. We probably have to move on, or are they typing? Okay, great. So let's move on to, so that's trap number 3. And remember what the trap number 3 is? Not, thank you, not prioritizing passion. Now, one of the things I'll leave you with to get out of this trap, so first of all, it sounds like getting advice from our child inside is actually pretty helpful and useful. You don't just have to ask general, you can ask specifically. Like I asked my inner child this morning, or whenever that was, what's your priority in this workshop? Have fun. Okay, cool. So like, from that moment on, I'm like, okay, it's all about fun. I wasn't like, oh, what's it gonna be like? And I was like, okay, we're gonna have fun, whatever happens, even if I mess it up or it's new content, whatever happens, I'm gonna have fun. So I could have asked, what specifically do you want to happen in order to have more fun? You can ask specifically about my marketing. What do you like? What do you not like? I do a lot of videos in the forest. I am sure that my inner child loves that. It's way more fun. I'm just like connected to like amazing beauty around me. That's more fun. If I said, do you want to do a video from home? No, I'm sure it would be no. So get that feedback, and then you can start to bring that passion more into, for you, especially for those of you here and on the live stream, more into the profit side of your business. Because we've got a lot going on here, we need to bring it more into the profit side. And take it from me, business is supposed to be fun and passionate, all of it, all of it. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this, especially for so long as I have been doing it. Okay, so let's talk about trap number 2. That stops coaches and healers from making the awesome money they desire and deserve. I am so passionate about this topic. A friend and I, my friend Karen McMullen, who used to be Karen Evelyn, for those of you who know Karen, she's one of my best friends. We came up with this term to describe something that we saw happening to ourselves over and over and over, and we see happening to so many people. It is so disturbing, and it's disturbing because it leads to a decrease in all of these. So this trap, number 2, is, yeah, the kid in me is happy because it's new, and I've never actually shared this to a group before, just like one-off conversations. Trap number 2 is, what does that say, please? Mentoritis. Mentoritis. Okay, so Karen and I came up with this term to describe something, again, we kept happening to us. So I'll share my experience because I'm not as aware of Karen's mentoritis experiences as I have of my own. So I would take business programs and I would learn how to make money, learn money generating skills. This is good. This is great. When I take programs like that, my business grows. So that's great, but somewhere, it's happened so many times that somewhere over the course of that, taking that program, it would happen. So what would happen is the mentor would suggest something to me. You should do this. And it makes logical sense. And I'm like, well, they're really smart, they're really successful, and it's logical. I'll do that. Okay? Meanwhile, not realizing I was ignoring the subtle voice inside that says, that doesn't feel good. And I did it anyway. The mic is falling. I don't know how to do it. I could feel it. Thank you, Michael. Okay, cool. So distracted. This thing is moving. Oh, this. Oh, I popped it out again. Okay, we're good? Okay, cool. Okay. So, yes. I let the logic override that subtle feeling. The logic of like, they're successful, they think I should do this, so I'll do it. And I ignore that subtle voice inside. And time goes on, and that subtle voice becomes really, really loud. It's like, this doesn't feel good. And it's like vocal. It wasn't the right suggestion for me when I had that feeling. And because I followed it over time, the passion was lost and then the profit. So I'll give you a really clear example. And before I do, I want to be clear. Mentors are crucial and critical to growing a business. We're not born knowing how to sell or market. And a lot of people in this room don't even like it or have 0 passion around it, or two level. Level 2 passion, 20% passion around it. So we need to actually learn how to do that in a way that feels really good for us because we're not born knowing that. So we need to learn. So I'm a big fan of mentors. It's the only way I've created the success I've had. That's the only way. However, if something doesn't feel right, it needs to be adjusted. So I'm going to give an example. I had this evergreen webinar that I created, and during the doing of the videos, I had my business mentors there, and the one was like, we need a short title for this webinar. So I was like, okay, sounds good. I was like, I don't know what it is. He's like, I don't know either. So he goes, brainstorms with a few people, comes in with this title. I was like, okay, you're smart, you're successful. Like, the little twist. It was a little twist of like, I don't really like that title. And I ignored it because I like my business mentor. It's very smart. Okay. So it wasn't until later when I actually had to go and promote this thing and market it and get people on board to help promote it because I couldn't, I needed to share it with lots of people in order for it to be profitable. And when I started to feel like, I'm already bored with this thing because of the title. Like, what? I invested a ton of money and a ton of time in making this thing, and here I am bored of it and not wanting to share it because of the stinking title. So that was an infection of mentoritis. It was not his fault. It was mine. I take responsibility for it because I didn't voice. That doesn't quite feel right. I don't use that word. It bugs me. And I ignored it. And then the results were I waited a very long time. I didn't want to share it. I didn't want to share it at all. And here this thing was not making money, not connecting me with my people, not having the people that I'm meant to work with enroll in my programs because I felt bored. Make sense? So that is mentoritis. So when I finally was like, okay, I need to make a new title, one that I'm pumped about, I made a new title. I was so friggin' fired up. The rest of it was the same. It was just a different title. I was so fired up and so pumped up that it led me on a total trajectory of momentum, passion sustained over time, momentum. And from that, amazing things have happened. I have connected and worked with industry leaders. I have incredible opportunities to get my work out to the world in ways I couldn't have dreamed of before. Leaders in the industry, I know a lot of them personally. They know who I am. I know who they are. We've connected deeply. I'm currently working on a book with Laurel Langmeyer, the millionaire maker, who is in The Secret. That wouldn't have happened if I didn't have that new title. So can we see the cost of mentoritis at times? Yes. Okay, thank you. So, is mentoritis bad? Thank you. Is it bad? Is it bad? Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to give you a process to help you do that. But yes, you have to follow, absolutely, it's not even just your instincts, it's like something doesn't feel good about this. It was so subtle. And if I, it was subtle, I didn't really listen to it. And then I suffered the consequences. Had I actually said, you know what, that particular word doesn't feel good, can we brainstorm another title? We would have done that, and I would have saved a lot of time and energy and money. But instead I was like, my mentor is smart, and he knows the answer, right? That's the mentoritis. Of course he's smart, but he's also smart if I'd been like, I don't like that word, can we find a new one? Then I would have had something I would have been on fire with, okay? So very costly. Okay, so how do we prevent mentoritis? I just love the word, it's just funny. And I've been infected many, many times at a cost each time. Okay, so there are two things to know when it comes to preventing mentoritis, okay? Mentors, number one, actually, yeah, we'll put this here. I've already shared this, but I'll share it again. What does that say, please? Mentors are key. Thank you. Mentors are key. If you want to make an income leap fast, you find someone to help you teach you how they have done it themselves. That's what a mentor is. I've been there, I've done that, and this is what I did. You can save a lot of time and energy and money by investing in a mentor. They show you what works. You don't have to figure it out by yourself. I was trying to figure out things out by myself, and I was making $800 a month. After that, I was like, hey, forget it. Why am I trying to be smart about this? This is not my gift. So I got help. Okay. They help you attract the maximum number of clients because they show you how to do it. They show you marketing, how to market, how to actually have people show up, how to actually have people come to your workshops or to your sessions or to your programs. They show you how to do that. They show you how to sell. And because we've talked about the first trap, prioritizing passion, only learn ways that feel good to you. That's your promise to yourself, to not be in the not prioritizing passion trap. Okay, so this is a really good thing. We're not born knowing how to sell or market at all. And especially in the beginning, mentors, what they do is they help you translate what you do in a way that your people will understand you and actually want to connect with you. So let's talk about that for a moment, because this is a key distinction. In our world, in our coaching healing world, in our world of transformation, we are experts in what we do. We're experts at what causes the problems that people are facing, right? We love what we do. It's our passion. We've delved into it likely for years. We know the ins and the outs. Okay, so we actually work at the level of What, please? Thank you. Cause. Isn't that right? We work at the level of cause. Whatever's going on in someone's life, we'll help fix it at the cause, and that will change what they're experiencing. And this is awesome, but it also causes major problems when it comes to attracting clients and for those who have resistance to marketing. Those who work at the level of cause are what, please? Thank you. Experts, which is what you are. To whatever degree you can embrace that term, that's what you are. If you communicate at the level of cause with a potential client, what do you think happens? Do they understand? So we got some yeses and some nos. Okay, so we're going to make this really clear. Thank you. Okay, they actually don't understand what you're talking about. Think about it. If they knew the cause, they would be an expert and they would fix this problem and they'd be good, right? And that's not who they are. Potential clients are not aware of the cause. If they were aware of the cause, they'd work on it and they'd be free. And everything would change. Potential clients are not aware of the cause. They are aware of only one thing. What, please? Thank you. They're only aware of the symptoms. Okay. So the potential client has stomach problems. They don't know that they have a gluten intolerance. They don't know that. They are single and lonely, and they don't know how to find love. They're not aware that their heart needs to be healed. They're like, it's Friday night, all my friends are with their husbands, and I'm alone, right? They're aware of the symptom. They are overwhelmed and exhausted, and they don't know that it's because they have not learned how to set boundaries on their time, and they have not learned how to say no. They don't have a self-care routine. They don't know that. All they know is they're totally burnt out and overwhelmed. Make sense? Okay, cool. They are fighting with their teenager, and they don't know that they need conscious parenting skills. All they know is that their teenager is driving them nuts, right? That's the only thing they're thinking about. They're not thinking about the level of cause. We're obsessed with cause because we nerd out on that stuff. It's like, yes, what's causing this? It's like our favorite thing. I don't know, I'm speaking for myself. It's like, oh, this is especially like, this is what's going on in your business. I'm like, why? We must find out why. Like, that's me, because I'm all about that. And I'm sure you are like that for your own client symptoms. Okay. So they're only aware of the symptoms. You're aware of the cause. And so why I'm sharing this is because we need mentors who will help us translate what we do into symptoms and titles that will draw our potential clients in. And videos that we can do that will draw our clients in. Or workshops that we can do that will draw our clients in. Make sense? We don't know how to do this. We're like all obsessed with this. It's like purpose was level 10 for most of the people here and who are listening. We're good at this. Mentors help you translate to this. This is the key to making a ton of money. To translate into the symptoms of what your clients are going through, potential clients are going through, and only speaking in those terms. In marketing, that's what you need. And that's this. I hope you take this with you forever. Is this helpful? Yes, awesome. Thank you. You always need to translate, and I can't obviously teach you how to do that here, nor do I even do that in my business. But this is one of the main needs for a mentor. So mentors are good. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. So marketing is, in essence, learning how to communicate with your potential clients in symptom language. That's all marketing is. It's like, are you tired of having stomach aches and not knowing why? Yes. Tell me why. Tell me why. So in your marketing, you might not be actually woohoo about your marketing. Like, I needed a new title not because I didn't resonate with the title because it was about the problems my clients were having, but because I was bored with it. Like, I didn't like the word. So of course, everything you do still has to fire you up and be exciting, but you're probably not going to resonate with your title. Like, because you have long since left those symptoms behind and you don't live in symptom land. But your clients do, so you have to communicate in their language. So just a little bit of a warning. Okay. If that's the case, you let your excitement come from like, I'm doing this marketing thing and it's totally resonating with my people and they're coming to me. They're showing up. There's lots of them. Let your excitement come from knowing that that is happening. Okay, so mentors are important. So let's talk about mentoritis again. While business mentors give you important tools and knowledge to grow your business and attract clients, there is a danger of losing your passion in several different ways. You could create marketing that you're not excited about. You could create a sales process that doesn't feel authentic. You can learn and set your business up according to a business model that doesn't actually allow for your passion. I've done a lot of that myself. You end up doing things that business mentors tell you should do that you don't actually want to do. I believe that your deepest purpose is fulfilled by being you and exactly who you are. You must ensure it's totally on you to make sure that the passion is still there, even as you learn these money generating skills. Make sense? Okay, cool. I'm going to give you a few questions. I highly recommend writing them down on a piece of paper, putting them on your desk, because mentors are there. Like, if you're not making the money you want, you need to learn how to make more money. So put it on your desk and be reminded to ask yourself these questions so you can avoid what happened to me, and you can sustain the passion throughout your business so that you can have the maximum profits possible. Because if there's no passion, you're not jumping out of bed in the morning. And if you're not jumping out of bed in the morning, there's not a lot of marketing going on and a lot of sales. Make sense? Okay, so there are 3 questions. Number 1, do I feel good about blank? Do I feel good about blank? So for example, do I feel good about this title? If you felt a twinge, that's the time to really look at these. Do I actually feel good about this title? Do I feel good about this form of marketing that my mentor is suggesting? Number 2, what doesn't feel good about blank? What doesn't feel good about blank? It's good to know specifically. What I see happens so much, and it's so sad, is someone will take a business program, they'll learn how to grow their business, and then there's something that doesn't feel good, but instead of being like, well, what is it that doesn't feel good, and then chucking that part or evolving it, adjusting it, they throw out the whole thing. That is not cool. Especially after investing money to learn how to do that. Okay, number 3, is there a way I can change blank to feel better? Is there a way I can change blank to feel better and still be effective? Is there a way I can change blank to feel better and still be effective? So what you don't want to do is to be like, I don't like that title. I'm going to now talk about the cause, right? No. I don't like that title. How can I adjust this part so it still achieves the objective without losing my passion? Make sense? Okay, cool. Any questions? Any quick questions on mentoritis? Okay. So when you do this, you can actually, when you do this 3-step process, you can actually go to your mentors and say, okay, this part doesn't feel good. What is your suggestion? What else could I do? And then you can do something that feels good. Then you're in your passion, then you're in your purpose, and everything, you'll be able to have the maximum amount of results from everything that you do. All right, cool. So, no more mentoritis. No more mentoritis. Repeat after me. I choose to keep my passion. Thank you. Yes, you need your passion in order to make the maximum profits. Like, they're linked. They're linked. And if your passion goes down, your profits go down, and what the heck? Then the people are missing out on the gifts that you have to share with them. Your people. Okay, so let's move on to the number 1 trap that stops coaches and healers from making the awesome money they desire and deserve. Actually, before I do, does anyone have any questions at all on anything I've covered so far tonight and or on the live stream? Yes, Janie. Yeah. So Janie's asking, I know Janie, that's why I can say her name. There's no labels on anyone else. Otherwise I would say their name. So Janie's asking, when it came to like, how can I make this better? It was just a blank, right? So what can she do? My sense with Janie is that she didn't ask specific enough of a question. So I would actually look at, okay, how can I ask a more specific question? For some reason that's coming up for you. Yeah, so if it's like, do you have an example of what you were asking? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm going to say this for the live stream. The first part, what do you like about it? Being myself? Yeah. And then what's the second part? Sharing is, what's the questioning? Yes. What do you like about what you're doing in that moment? The sharing? Yeah. Okay. Feeling boxed in, no expansion. Yeah. What do you want? What can we do about it? Move. Okay. So you actually have an answer. You're just resisting your answer. So the answer is move. If you were doing an evening workshop like I'm doing, you would be moving. Because of course you would. I know you. Yes, of course she would. If I love dancing, and I love dancing, but if dancing was a part of my work, I would be dancing and making you all dance with me. So, you it's physical, isn't it? Yeah, what the heck? Yeah. I don't know. Your inner child is not like, let's take more action. Your inner child's like, let's move, let's like dance and do some crazy stuff. And it's, of course, if you're not moving, that would not make sense. For those of you who know Janie, it makes sense what I'm saying. Okay, cool. Listen, she had to answer. She just is ignoring it. Yes, you have to move. Yes. No. Did I say that there's two ways? Just 1 second. No, the two ways prevent. Okay, preventing mentoritis is really only prevented by one way. So I don't know why I said two. Sometimes it happens, and it's new. Going through these 3 steps. Well, oh yeah. So I guess 2. First of all, noticing that feeling of something feels off. Something doesn't feel quite right. It'll be so subtle, and you're gonna want to ignore it because this mentor is really smart and really successful. But there's that feeling inside, and you have to listen to the feeling inside. That's first. And in case that doesn't happen, you can continue to ask yourself questions about everything you're doing. If something starts to feel like overall off in your business, go back to these 3 questions. And then you can start to drill down into what feels off, because you might not have caught it in the moment where your stomach did a weird thing. Make sense? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay. Yes.
So the question online is, with mentoritis, how do you know you're not just resisting what needs to be done, that maybe it's not tied to an obstacle?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to talk about that next because that leads us to the number 1 trap. However, what I see this a lot because I work, anyone know Callan Rush? A few of you, yeah. So I speak at one of her events, and it's like the Sell from the Stage event, and they come up with with titles for things and stuff like that. And when I see someone, they'll have an idea, and then they'll be like, oh no, it didn't feel right. And so they have a new idea. And then they're like, oh, that didn't feel right. If you continue to do it, that's more of a sign that it's something deeper. Whereas if you take yourself through the process, the 3 steps, like what specifically about this doesn't feel good, rather than throwing it all out, no, it's actually this. If you can't actually name the specific thing, that's also a clue that it's probably something deeper, which we're going to talk about next. Or if it's repeated. Whenever there's some people, I mean, I intuitively know. I'm like, what are you doing? Because I feel the truth of who people are, and I feel like this is totally congruent. And then they're like, no, it didn't resonate. I'm going to do this. I'm like, that's the same freaking thing. Like, it's the same thing. You're just trying to, So like me, I see it like clear as day. But for those of you who are here and listening at home, if it's a repeated thing, that's usually a sign it's something deeper. Okay? Make sense? Okay, cool. Great question. That's a really great question, because I don't want throwing out everything. And that's why it's about like narrowing down what specifically. Because if you can't pinpoint what it is specifically, very often it's just that you're sabotaging yourself. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the question. Let's move on to trap number 1 that stops coaches and healers from making the awesome money they desire and deserve. And that trap is, I was like patting the air, my imaginary drum. Yeah. Layla, I think we'll need a new red, please, when you get a chance. What's that say, please? Thank you. Energetic money blocks. This is such a big trap, and it's friggin' invisible. Like, most coaches and healers are stuck in the trap of energetic money blocks, and they have no idea that they're stuck in it. So what the heck are these? So they are, thank you. Please don't throw it out. I only say that because one time my mom was helping me out. I was like, where'd that red marker go? She told me to throw it out. No, I didn't. They're from Germany. They're precious. Okay, so energetic money blocks. So yeah, just on this again, it's a huge trap, and it stops coaches and healers from making the awesome money they desire and deserve like nothing else. Like, this is the absolute biggest trap that I see, more than anything else, more than mentoritis. It could be the cause of mentoritis in some cases. Okay, so a lot of coaches and healers put in tons of time and energy and money and their passion and their savings, even all these different things to grow their business, yet they're stuck in this trap and they don't realize that there's this deeper part of them that's sabotaging the heck out of it the whole way, and it won't actually allow that money to come in when it shows up, or it won't allow them to take the actions that are needed in order for it to show up, or it'll sabotage the title, or sabotage, it'll look like mentoritis, but it's something deeper. So what are energetic money blocks? In essence, they're a frozen energy that is within someone's energy field that stops them from doing whatever it takes to create a successful business. It stops money from coming in. So to explain this even more clearly, I had one that was so strong, it stopped me from even starting a business. I was hiding out in my engineering career, and at the time I didn't know I was intuitive, I didn't know I was a healer, so because it's actually stopped me from even being aware of those gifts. I spent most of my life feeling sick to my stomach with fear because of this block. I was terrified of people judging me, I was worried about making mistakes, I was worried about what everybody thought of me. So let's say that's someone's energetic money block. We'll call it fear of rejection. When there's an energetic money block in someone's energy field, it causes one of two things to happen. And we'll use fear of rejection as an example. Okay, let's just say that's an energetic money block. It causes one of two things to happen. Number one is it causes the person to what, please? Thank you. Attract. Attract what matches it. So let's go back to fear of rejection. If someone has a money block called fear of rejection, what would they attract? Rejection. Thank you. Rejection. Perfect. Okay. Number two, the person they don't know it consciously, but they know this energetic money block is there. And they're like, I don't want to have rejection happen. No way. They can feel it. They're like, if I put myself out there, they're just going to reject me. So what do? They do number two, which is to what, please? Avoid. Thank you. Avoid it. So what does that look like in business if someone is avoiding rejection? Zero profit. What's that, please? Yes, they don't even put their work out there, because what if they say no? Do they sell? Do they market? Exactly. They don't meet anybody because they're like, what if they say no? Okay, so in either case, can you see how it sabotages the money that can come in? Yes, thank you. Okay. No, it's just two ways it shows up. Is there one bigger than the other? Attracting or avoiding? No, it's just these are the two ways that people handle them when they're there. Either they just attract it and they're like, oh, this thing really is annoying. This bad thing keeps happening, but they keep going. Yeah, and you attract, what we're talking about here is you're attracting what matches the money block, whatever the heck that is. So we're going to talk about more about what these are to explain so they're really clear. So in my years of working with hundreds of coaches and healers, what I have found is that there are 3 energetic money blocks that stop them from having that wildly passionate, wildly profitable business like nothing else. To explain what the 3 energetic money blocks are, I'm going to use a metaphor of, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll let you guess. I didn't mean to say the of part. I'm going to draw it. It's like, why am I saying of? The C. Thank you. Yay! Someone said it. What is that, please? Thank you. It's a really gigantic, biggest one I've ever made. Yes, by the sea. Okay, so we're going to use the metaphor of a lighthouse. So the lighthouse is your business. This is the structure that you put in place to allow your light, your gifts, your message to broadcast to as many people as possible. Right? If you're just going to help random strangers, you don't need a business. You'll just bump into them. But this is where you're really playing big. You're like, I'm here to make a difference in the world, so I'm going to set up a business, maybe a website, set up a marketing system, a sales system, to be able to share my light with as many people as possible. Make sense? Okay, because why? Your people are out here. Your people. What do I mean by your people? I want to be really clear. I believe it's not an accident who shows up in front of you. I believe there are people who are meant to work with you. So I'm talking about not random strangers. These are people that are your people. And they're waiting for your light to be there so that they can travel through the sea without crashing into the rocks. If your light was off, they would crash, for example. Okay. Your lighthouse is uniquely positioned to broadcast your light to your people. It's on a specific shore, and this is a specific rock of a challenge that if your lighthouse wasn't there, they would crumble, they would hit the rock and damage would be done. Okay. So let's talk about the ideal scenario, the wildly passionate, wildly profitable scenario. There is only one. That is when this beacon is on all the time. All the time. It doesn't mean they work 24/7. It means that if there's an opportunity in front of you, you show up. If a potential client connects with you, you follow up until it's complete. And they sign on or decide no. It means that if someone's like, hey, I'd love for you to speak at my event, you're like, okay, cool. And you will email or call or do whatever you need to do until that thing is booked. Make sense? Okay. In the ideal scenario, you are on. You are in your passion. It doesn't turn off. You're pumped. You love what you do. You're connected to the impact of your work. It is the scenario where there is a maximum number of clients, a maximum amount of money. If your people can see you, they can pay you. So being on consistently ensures the maximum amount of money. Okay, so the other thing that goes on right here is when you're in the beacon consistently and nonstop, I believe the universe is watching and says, hey, nice, finally this one is ready. Like that light is on all the time. Now let's send that one a ton of clients because I can actually rely on her or him. If the light's on, off, I believe the universe is loving. It's not going to send a ton of clients your way if you can't actually be on when they show up. Make sense? Okay. So when you have your beacon on consistently, that's when the magic happens. That's when the momentum happens because you're sustaining passion over time. And when the momentum is there, that's when you attract all the opportunities to get your work out to as many people as possible. And I shared just an example of that when I changed my title, and I was so passionate about it. I sustained momentum for so long, and I could not believe the opportunities that showed up. Okay, so this is the ideal scenario. However, that is not where I see most coaches and healers. I see them stuck in the trap of energetic money blocks. So let's talk about them. The first one is, rather than being in the beacon, shining their light as powerfully as possible to reach as many clients as they can, they're off where, please? Thank you. Hiding in the bushes. I love it. You got it. Okay. Are the people out here going to find this person? Not easily, right? Like, they're not exactly lighting the path for these people. Maybe the leaves see the light, but that's about it. Exactly. This is like, it's even worse than hide and seek. It's like avoidance. It's like, la la la, like just completely avoiding. Okay. So this is a huge money block. It's the most severe of all of the three. And it shows up in several ways that all boil down to no action. No action or avoiding. So it can look like being aware of what their passion is, or not being aware of what their passion is at all. When I was an engineer, I was like maybe somewhat aware that it was there. Or they have a business, but they're avoiding the actions that it takes to get their work out to lots of people. Spending all day on Facebook, not making money, but just hanging out. Spending all their time manifesting in their business. I did a lot of manifesting when I was in the bushes, and I was making $800 a month. You can have success already and have a block in the bushes, which is really fascinating. Doesn't matter what level, even multi-7-figure business owners have a block in the bushes. In that case, they're avoiding a particular action that's going to get their work out to more people. Make sense? So an example of this, I avoided speaking for a really long time. And when I finally added speaking into my business, that was my first 6-figure year. It was a specific action I was avoiding that was stopping that next level of income. Is that clear? Okay, thank you. Okay, so the core issue here, actually no, there's a couple signs. Procrastination is a sign of a block at the bushes, or having no energy to actually do the tasks that are in front of them, or just this resistance that's like, I don't know, I just don't feel like doing it. The core issue actually isn't even about action. It's deeper than that. It's not even about what action do I take. Often the people can't even attract the action to take because they're in that stuck state that says I'm going to avoid it anyway. So they're not exactly in this magnetic state to the exact action they need to take. Or maybe they know the action. This is painful. When they know the action, but they just for the life of them can't do it. That's really sad. And then they tend to beat themselves up because of it. Okay. This is just evidence of something deeper going on. There's a reason why they're in the bushes. And if it was so easy as to just leave the bushes, they would have done that by now. In the end, that they're just blocked and they're stuck. The next block is a bit of an upgrade. The person leaves the bushes and ends up on the what, please? Thank you, on the beach. So this is better. There's a chance. I'll give this guy a little bit of light. Oops. There's more of a chance, right? There's more of a chance that these people can see this person, but it's still pretty slim. Like, what if there's a hill? What if it's foggy out? What if this person is actually behind the lighthouse and they can't see it? So let's think about the beach in a normal scenario. Being on the beach is just relaxing, right? You're hanging out, maybe you're reading. Being on the beach is being all about you, right? It's like, I'm learning, it's all about me. There's not a real focus on other people on the beach, even just the regular beach when you go to the beach. It's like, time out. Okay, so let's talk about how that connects to business. The primary purpose of an energetic money block at the beach is to keep the person out of the beacon. That's the objective. So let's talk about what that looks like. When a coach or a healer has a beach block, they will not be able to just go share their work with as many people as possible. Something in them will stop them. This energetic money block shows up in 3 ways. Let's talk about the first way. They focus on getting better first. They focus on getting better first. They do a whole lot of learning and taking courses, perhaps learning different modalities. More and more training, getting better and better at what they do without actually sharing what they do with the people who need what they do. Okay, I see a couple smiles. Okay. So this is a really awkward state because they become more and more and more useful without sharing their gifts. So they feel like this buildup of internal pressure because they're getting more useful. That like calls more people to them. And those people are like, I need your help. And they feel it, they feel the call, but they like, I can't put it out there. So this is a real state of pressure, and it's really uncomfortable. So they get more useful, yet the block won't actually let them share it. And it's really uncomfortable. Often the people who are on the beach have a major focus on people liking them. Perfectionism, really common with coaches and healers. Whenever I see perfectionism going on, I'm like, it's probably a beach block. A lot of fear of rejection goes on the beach. Perfectionism is just a sign of a beach block. It's not an actual thing in itself. In business, you got to drop it. There's no way you can grow quickly and be perfect. There's a lot of imperfect things that happen tonight. There's a lot of imperfect things that happen in my business all the time. And I'm at peace with that. I used to be a perfectionist though, because I used to be on the beach. Okay, so let's look at the second way that the block at the beach shows up. They avoid marketing. Avoid marketing. And as I shared before, some people say, I don't like marketing. And as I described, it doesn't make sense. Like when people say, I don't like marketing, it doesn't even compute in my brain. I'm like, you don't like to meet your people? Like, it doesn't make sense. We already talked about that. So, but yet they avoid it. Even if they find a way that they actually like, they just avoid it for some reason. Okay. I already shared that part. Okay. The energetic money block at the beach is all about hiding. So even though this looks like you're hiding, they're really playing small. Like they're not sharing their gifts with the people who need to see them. They have the gifts, but they're not putting them out for people to actually benefit from. Okay. They don't actually create a sustainable way for people to find them. They don't actually create like a marketing system, a way for people to actually find them on a recurring basis. The third way that the block at the beach shows up is lack of clarity. Lack of clarity. A lot of people on the beach have a hard time getting clear on what they do. And it is like the perfect excuse. I see some more eyes looking at her neighbor. And a okay. Is that it's really the perfect excuse. I would share my work if I was clear, but I'm not clear yet, so I can't. Right? It's logical. But to me, I hear that and I'm like, beach block. No, the people who have lack of clarity, especially on an ongoing basis, that is, like I said, if you can make a tweak and it's like, oh, but that still doesn't resonate. It's not about the wording. It's not about the clarity. It's that there's something inside that's actually scared to put it out there. Make sense? Thank you. And it actually sets them up in a state of perpetual lack of clarity. They get clear and then, no, yeah, no. And it's really uncomfortable. Fear of looking foolish, thank you. Yeah, a lot of the beach blocks are that. Some are different, but a lot of them are that. Okay, thank you. Okay, the other thing I was going to share about the beach block. If I put it out there, then I would. Yes, often there's low self-esteem. And it doesn't even look like that, though, to them, because they're avoiding looking at it. Thank you. Okay, so there's something else I was going to say. On the beach, lack of clarity. Yeah, this person could literally be handed the exact words for what they can share with the world. This happens a lot in business programs. They'll have the exact words, and I can see clearly. I'm like, this is totally a yes. And they're like, oh, it doesn't resonate because there's something deeper that says I cannot share this. It's not, this is not okay. So it continues that cycle of lack of clarity. Okay, one final detail about being on the beach. So what happens on the beach? Who do you think you run into when you're on the beach? Thank you. Other people on the beach. Other beach people. Okay, now let me ask you this. Do those people need your services? Do they? Are they out there lost at sea? About to crash into the rock? No, they're on the beach. They're on the beach. So they don't actually need what you have. And a lot of people on the beach think that they do. Oh yeah, my mom needs it, my friend needs it, my neighbor needs it. They're on the beach there. They're good. They don't actually need it. And so that becomes a really uncomfortable experience. Because those people will never pay you. They will never invest in your services or programs. Why would they? They don't have the problem. And even if they have a hint of the problem, they're not these guys. These guys are happy to find you. They're like, finally, you're like the answer to my prayers. I've been suffering for so long, and heck yeah, here's my investment. But the people on the beach do not do that. So then it causes a ton of doubt. It's like, oh, and maybe, I'm explaining it in the wrong way. That's why they're not getting it. Or maybe I'm not valuable because they're not wanting my stuff. No, they're not your people. You find beach people on the beach. Exactly. A lot of beach people, I help this, I help that, want to help each other. It's like, dude, you're missing the boat. Like, your people are out there. Don't help each other. Help each other, fine. But that is not going to be your primary revenue stream. It's just not. Yes. Another sign of being on the beach is when someone says, what do you do? And you explain it, their eyes glaze over. And they're like, what? That's the lack of clarity, right? The lack of clarity of words to describe what you do. Okay. Being on the beach is awkward and uncomfortable, and there are so many coaches and healers on the beach, and it is sad, and it drives business mentors nuts, which is why a lot of them bring me in to speak to their clients about this, because they're sick of seeing this. You had a perfect marketing, and you didn't do anything with it. Okay, so let's talk about energetic money block number 3, which is at the what, please? Thank you. At the beacon. The third energetic money block takes place at the beacon. They leave the beach. They're like, okay, I'm going to share this work with as many people as possible. Yay! Like, I'm really excited. I'm clear. I'm as clear as I need to be. Like, who cares how clear I am? I'm going to go put it out there anyway. That's what happens when you're in the beacon. They go into the beacon. They turn on the light. They're really excited. And then something feels uncomfortable. And then they shut it off. Turn it back off. Yes, something feels uncomfortable. They realize, holy crap, I'm pretty shiny up here. Thank you, too bright. I'm pretty shiny up here. I'm pretty visible. People can see me. I was freaked out about people seeing me down here, but now they all see me. I'm really visible, and that feels really uncomfortable. So they go from having their light on to their light shutting off. And remember, the universe is watching. So are they going to get a ton of potential clients coming to them? No. They'll get a few. They'll get more than they would on the beach when that light was on for a few seconds there. So the amount of money that they make is limited. Because remember, when the beacon is on, the clients can see them and can pay them. When the beacon goes off, it's really hard for them to invest in their programs. Okay. To me, this is really frustrating. Like, this is really sad because the people need the help. The people need the help, and this person needs the money usually. So it's like, it's a win-win, but they shut the light off. Okay, so what does this look like in the day-to-day world of business? In the day-to-day world, there's marketing going on, typically some marketing. Opportunities are coming their way. Maybe they're doing speaking engagements, maybe they're actually doing things. They have programs, they're actually out there marketing or selling. There's a lot more action here. Where here it's more focused on themselves, like learning and growing. This is more focused on, okay, I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put this out there in the beacon. They're giving expression to all that they've done on the beach, to all their gifts. They're giving expression to their gifts into programs, services, marketing, and sales systems. Okay. The energetic money block at the beacon is all about one thing, which is playing small. Playing small. And it can show up in 3 key ways. The first way is to just stay dim. It's like, I'm not going to put that thing on full blast. I'm just going to keep it really, really dim. Don't be too successful. Don't be too shiny. Don't make too much money. Don't make more money than my partner or my mom. Keep it dim. At least my light's on, but it's dim. That's a really common one. And often they're surrounded by a community of other people who are playing small, so they just want to fit in. They want people to like them still. They don't want to be an outcast. Thank you. Seeking approval. Yes. That's more often what goes on here. But here it's like afraid of rejection by their loved ones. What's that? Sorry, what? Yes, exactly. And the masses as well, yes. And often, but I will still say, if there's rejection, it mostly goes on here. And approval is usually here. They're like, oh, I can't put it out there because I'll get rejected, so I'll just hang out here. Okay. So this one, if you have really dim light in your beacon, what do you think your sales would be? Very dim. Very tiny. Yes, a lot smaller than they could be, right? I believe, yeah. Like, I had a consistent $800 a month. It was really consistent. And I was, I was keeping it on, but not very bright. Okay, great. The second way is on, off, on, off, on. Yes, I'm so excited. This is what I see. A lot of coaches and healers, they wake up totally passionate. They're like on top of the world. I'm going to do this. It's going to be successful. I'm going to share this with as many people as possible. I'm confident. I'm passionate. One day. And then the next day they wake up and they're like, I don't know. It's not as exciting today. Or they're like, I don't even know. What the heck was I excited about yesterday? I don't even remember. I know I'm here supposed to be doing what I love, but I'm a little bit disconnected. Make sense? Okay. What's that? Okay, absolutely.
One of the people online, Fia-Lynn, said that it's my rules and my restrictions that I put on myself that holds me back. There's lots of restrictions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would show up in anywhere, really. Rules and restrictions. I'd have to actually talk to the person to know where it's showing up, but that would probably be, it could be tied to all of them, but that person will probably see it showing up in one area more than others, where the rules are. And I imagine it's at the beacon because that's what we're talking about right now. So yes, thank you. On, off. Okay, this one actually shows up in relationships as well. Actually, all of the beacon blocks typically tend to play out in relationships. Because who's, on, off, on, off. What might that attract in a relationship? Not just love, but a family member. Anyone think of anything? What's that? Support, so lack of support. Yeah, it can even show up drastically, like criticism. Someone shutting them down. Not being supportive. Opposite of supportive. Okay. Let's talk about the third way the energetic money block at the beach shows up, or beacon shows up. That is sabotage. Sabotage. This one, it's so sad to watch and to experience. The first way you can sabotage money is before it comes in. So, how many of you, there's a potential client who's like, hey, I think I might want to work with you, but you didn't respond to them yet. You didn't follow up with them. Anyone? Okay, we got a few here. Yeah. that's a sign of a beacon block. It's that, like, the money, like, the person's there saying, hey, I need some help. And then, but the person's not staying on long enough to actually follow through with that connection and be able to follow it through all the way till the end, where the people get the help and the person makes the money, the coach or healer makes the money. Yeah, exactly. At least refer them to someone else who has their light on. You know, at least do that. Okay. Or, okay, yeah, the second way that sabotage shows up, I unfortunately experienced this firsthand myself. It was my first 5-figure month. I was on top of the world. I was like, yes, everything is amazing, and I'm gonna succeed from now on, and everything is great. Totally passionate, totally connected to my purpose. I just signed on 2 high-paying clients. I was like on top of the world. And then something weird happened. I started to feel uncomfortable. I didn't know why. I started sleeping like 12 hours a night. I stopped doing a lot of my work. I didn't actually email those clients to book their sessions. They had just invested a ton of money to work with me, and I couldn't even write them back. And I was really I felt disconnected. I felt numb. I was like, what am I even excited about? I went from feeling totally pumped to completely numb and disconnected. And I had no idea what the heck was going on. That first 5-figure month was followed by a month of $200 in sales. And I spend way the heck more money than I made, which meant I was actually worse off than before I had the 5-figure month. Yeah, this one sucks. They all suck, but you know, that really sucks. So once that happened, I was like, okay, what the heck just happened? Because for me, I learn and I teach. That's the entire business that I have, is things that have worked for me, and then I share them with others. So I was like, okay, what the heck just happened? Because I don't want to experience this, not even one more time. And I don't want other people to experience it. And that's when I was shown information about the beacon blocks. So that's sabotage. Fear of success? Yes. Yes, thank you. So he's asking, is that fear of success? It can be. There's a lot of different causes for the block at the beacon, and some of them are actually just really about playing small, like really being afraid of being that visible, afraid of being that successful and different than the people around them. So yeah, it definitely can be fear of success. And there's a lot of different things it can be. Yes. Yes. Yes, thank you. Don't deserve it, so they sabotage themselves. Yeah. Okay, so yes, and that's the block at the beacon. And to me, it's really sad, because here's all these people who are out there. And if you've been called to business to create transformation in the world, that means there's people out there who need you. And they're suffering. You're done with your symptoms, but they're not. They're suffering. And they need you to be on consistently, not just these ones, but all the ones that the universe is ready to send, by having that consistent beacon on all the time. Okay. So in any of these cases, whether it's keep the light dim, on or off, or sabotage, there's an energetic money block at the beacon. Now, I'd like to check in with you, and if you can ask, or I'm asking the live stream people, but I'm asking Michael to tell me. How many of you feel like your primary place of residence on this diagram is in the bushes? Hands up. Okay, we got a little short hand. Yeah, high one, there we go, thank you. She's avoiding, she's hiding her hand. Thank you for sharing. Is there many on the live stream? Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3. They're starting to pop up. Okay. Okay, so there's a bunch. It's a smaller portion, for sure. How many of you feel like you're primarily on the beach? Okay, thank you. This is a popular place to be. Live stream? On the beach. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. If they just share where they're at, then we'll know. You can summarize. Okay. How many of you feel like your primary place of residence is the beacon? Hands up high. Okay. Thank you. So this is almost even. A little bit more at the beach, I think. but Beacon, how about online? Proportions. Okay, rough guess. Okay, really common. Yeah. Lots of people are like, this one lady came to me. This one lady, she's like, first I'm in the bushes, then I run to the beacon, then I run back to the bushes. I was like, okay. And you can have blocks in all three, but it's like, what's your primary place of residence? So a lot of people in the beacon, a lot of people on the beach. And then, yeah, of course, there's some in the bushes. Sometimes people who are in the bushes just avoid a workshop like this. So congratulations for being here for you who are on the beach or in the bushes. Yes, okay, awesome. Okay, and I do want to share that as much as like you can connect to any of these three realities, that to me, where I live, they're all really messed up. They're not normal. They're normal when you're there. They were normal for me before, but they're not actually what business is meant to be like. It's not supposed to feel like that. It's like I'm used to being here and then here and then here, and I remember those days, and it was awful. But what I found is that it's actually about being in the beacon all the time, which is fun. And the passion stays, and the opportunities come, and you meet the cool people, and your clients, you have more and more clients, and you have new ways to help your clients because you have so many clients. That's what it's like to be in the beacon. And that's where you absolutely belong. And everything is easier in the beacon. Everything. I've tested it all out. Okay. So go ahead and give your neighbor a high five and say, I'm ready to be in the beacon. I'm giving you guys a high five. Ready to be in the beacon. Thank you. Awesome. I want to share. All right. We're all ready to be in the beacon. All the time. Like all the time. Okay. I want to share with you a modified version of a Bible quote that my friend once told me about. I don't really read the Bible much, but I made a little twist on it. And I'm really glad that she shared it with me because it's really powerful. People do not light a lamp and put it under a basket. Yes. They put it on a stand to give light to all in the house. You are the light of the world. It is your purpose to let your light shine before others. I believe we're in a massively powerful time right now. Never throughout the history of humanity, I don't believe, has there ever been such a time when people are so ready for change. They're ready to face what the heck is going on inside of them and deal with it. They're ready to be done with their challenges. They're actually ready to face their challenges. I don't think there's ever been a time in history where we've had this. It is the optimal time for a coach or a healer to create a wildly passionate, wildly profitable business. Absolutely. This is the time is now. Yet, for those who are in the bushes, the people can't find them. It's the time. They're like aching for it. But if the person is in the bushes, they don't get the help. Or if they're on the beach, it's the same thing. And in the beacon, there are way more people than the people right in front of you. There's tons of people who are ready to come, be your client, and work with you, and receive the transformation that only you can give them. They can try from someone else, but you have exactly what they need. Your unique makeup, your unique beingness and who you are. If you have an energetic money block in any of the three areas, it means that the beacon isn't on consistently. And if the beacon isn't on consistently, passion cannot be sustained, and the momentum cannot happen, and all the clients who are meant to reach you can't find you, and you can't actually fulfill that deeper purpose that you know you're here for, to the degree that you know you're ready to play and meant to play. And to me, that's really sad, because the truth is you're meant to be here. This is like the only place to be in business. Everything else is difficult and painful. I've tested it all out. You're meant to be unstoppable. When you're in the beacon, you're unstoppable. Nothing will stop you. If you're like, I don't know how to do it, you're like, okay, how can I do this? Let's just try this. Or who can teach me how to do this? And you do it. That's what it's meant to feel like, to be truly unstoppable, sustained passion over time. Okay. The biggest problem with energetic money blocks is that they're unconscious. We don't actually see them. Likely before today, you probably didn't know about the beacon, the beach in the bushes. I don't imagine. Never mind what specific energetic money block is playing out for you right now in any of these areas. Why? Because they're unconscious, and it's not your fault. You can't see them. They've been with you so long, you don't even know that they're there. In fact, they've been with you your whole life. So let's talk about the root of these energetic money blocks and where they originated. When I first started this work using the intuitive healing process, I would be shown where the blocks originated. And back then I did a lot of work in person, and I would have this person in front of me. I'm like, okay, where's the block coming from? And it would show me a scene. And I would see this person in the scene look nothing like the person in front of me. Nothing like the time era. I was like, okay. So there's a few ways that this actually, my clients see this. Some of my clients say, that's probably past life, because that resonates with their belief systems. I have clients who don't believe in past lives who still use the intuitive healing process successfully. Some see it a second way. They see it as ancestral, like this has been carried down throughout my family line. Or some see it as a soul level block, as in they came into this life, they took on this energy to heal it on behalf of humanity. I have a lot of clients who see it like that. Or there's a final group who's just like, who the heck cares? Because it works. I don't even care if this is a dream of what I'm seeing, because it works. So in either case, they're there your whole life, and that's what's so friggin' tricky about these blocks, and why it's so sad, and why I want to talk about them, and to help people see that they're actually going on without them realizing they're sabotaging so many things that they're really trying to create in their life and their business. Okay, just to explain that, they're there your whole life. I had a client once, she was in front of me, and I was describing this block. I was like, just feels really blah, and just like blah, like lifeless, kind of no energy. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, okay, let's contrast that to a day you felt on top of the world. And she's like, oh, I've never had a day like that. She had no idea that she had this block that was keeping her in a blah state. She didn't even know what the heck passion was. Obviously, if you're in a blah state, we're talking about passion tonight, it's going to obviously sabotage sales. Make sense? Okay. It was so normal, yet she couldn't see it. I mentioned Karen before, my mentoritis, we made that name up. My client, she's a client and a friend. When she first started working with me, she got to the root of an energetic money block at the Beacon. She was hosting a workshop the following week, and she immediately went in and uncovered the root of the block at the Beacon. She saw that she associated having a following of greater than 50 people, so more than 50 people in a room. So more than 50 people in a room, totally connected to public shame and death. So how likely are you going to ramp it up to like 100 if you think you're going to die? Like, and of course not. And of course, Karen wasn't going around thinking, I'm going to die if my room has 70 people in it. This is not logical. They're not logical when you look on the surface. And that's often when you can see that the blocks are playing out. It doesn't make sense. Why am I not doing this? Yet when we looked at the root, okay, it makes sense. Of course I would want to keep my room small. She healed that block. She went from having 40 people registered to 120 people registered for this particular event she was at in less than a week. Because she had someone who was wanting to promote her for a long time finally be like, yes, let's do it. And it happened. Okay. And obviously that allows her to make a lot more money, being able to reach more of her people. Before she learned how to see the unconscious energetic money block, she was completely oblivious to the fact that she was keeping her rooms to 50 or smaller. She actually wouldn't ever book rooms that were bigger than 50. She never even thought about it. It was unconscious. So I'd like for you to think to yourself, what energetic money block might be within you that's creating a ceiling on what you can create and what your income can be? What energetic money block might be in the way that you don't even realize is there, that's keeping a ceiling on your income and your passion? And what possibilities might show up if that was gone? It's so common for coaches and healers to actually learn how to grow their business, like to go out there and learn money generating skills and how to market. only to not actually use it because they're sabotaging themselves in one of these 3 ways. And it's really sad. Everybody loses, particularly the people that are in pain. And also the coach or healer who wants to be able to make a really awesome income that they absolutely deserve. I know what it's like to be blind to my energetic money blocks. I was for 3.5 years. Having no idea what the heck is stopping me from making more money. I know I meant to make more. I knew it in my bones, but it wasn't happening. I know what that feels like. And I also know what it feels like to be fully empowered in the beacon, fully on all the time. Or if I'm not, okay, beacon block, heal it, gone. Back to being on all the time. I know what that feels like, to be living in my passion in my business. My business is a passion everywhere. I know what that feels like. And to be able to, at any point in time, if something comes up, to be able to know, okay, this is a block, and to heal it. And I've seen what can happen when you're able to sustain, when I'm able to sustain consistency in my passion with creating momentum over time. Passion over time equals tons of opportunities showing up, opportunities you couldn't even dream of, or just, I feel like it's all around you right now. It's waiting to come in, but it can't come in if you're blocked in these 3 areas. So I want that for you. I want you to be unstoppable. I want you to feel what it feels like to not be in these 3 ridiculous scenarios, but to be in the beacon where everything is easier. You don't stop yourself. Every business program you take is an investment because you turn it around and you make money from it. I want this for you, and also I want it for the people who are out there waiting for you to show up for them, so to get them out of the pain they're in. That's why I created a simple system that allows you to use your intuition to pinpoint at any time and permanently heal whatever the heck energetic money block is in the way, so that you can be in the beacon consistently and make the money you're absolutely meant to make. It's called Freedom to Shine. Do I have your permission to tell you about the program and still share a little bit more tips? Thank you. So Freedom to Shine is a 90-day home learning program. By the end of Freedom to Shine, you will have the ability to pinpoint exactly what energetic money blocks are stopping you from making more money and impacting more people. What is stopping you from being totally unstoppable? So you don't have to stay stuck wondering, why the heck am I stuck? A lot of people come to me. I don't know why I'm stuck. I don't know why I'm not making money. You actually have the skill to be like, yes, this is why I'm not making more money, and to heal it so that you're free to go on and take the action or do whatever it takes to make that money. And you're not stuck wondering why. Freedom to Shine is delivered through 8 audio modules that are delivered right to your inbox, so you actually can get started right away. I personally don't like to wait for anything. And so that's why I created it as a home learning program. You can get started right away. And the whole point is to get you into the beacon so that you can be living that experience of being unstoppable and just creating momentum that builds over time and attracts you the clients and the opportunities to get your work out. In Module 1, we activate your intuition so that you can at any point in time pinpoint what is going on for you. What is the energetic money block that's in the way of you making more money? Okay, and even if right now you don't feel like you have intuitive abilities, I am an engineer. That's my previous background. Everything I teach is extremely practical, including intuition. And even the most logical left brain people can use this process. Okay. In Module 2, you learn all about the block at the bushes and how to permanently heal them. Because even though you might not primarily be there, if there is even one block at the bushes, it's like a paradigm shift, because it's keeping you in a small comfort zone. And once you heal that, you can expand your comfort zone to just have way more awesome things in it, like money, clients, opportunities. Okay, and when you heal your energetic money block at the bushes, what you felt before that was causing you to avoid is replaced by courage. And courage is needed in business, like for sure. So you end up feeling courage, which is really awesome. And the block at the bushes are super tricky. So in Module 2, you'll learn the 5 signs that a bushes block is showing. Because a lot of you don't even feel like you're here, yet you might have a massive block at the bushes that's stopping you. So you'll have the 5 signs so that you can make sure you get it out of your way so you can make all of the money you're meant to make. In Module 3, you learn the intuitive healing process, which is how to heal any of these money blocks. Permanently, completely gone. You only have to do the process once to heal one block. Then they're permanently gone. And use your intuition to be able to use. It's basically a half-an-hour guided meditation. You'll be able to have that as an MP3. I highly recommend you put it on your phone or whatever the heck you use that's with you. I've gone to many opportunities that I could have easily sabotaged and healed a block on the plane. So I highly recommend you have it with you, and it's really quick. It's 30 minutes. 30 minutes to be free of a money block is really awesome. Module 4, we get you off of the beach so that you actually feel like, I want to put my work out there. We get you off of the beach, module 4. Okay, so you can stop perfecting and just get it out there. Not, it's like, who cares? Who cares if people like me? I'm just going to do my thing and be free. Okay, module 6, I'm skipping a couple just for time's sake. Module 6, we get you into the beacon consistently. So we get rid of the blocks that are stopping you from being a consistent light in the world, sharing your work on a really consistent basis. So you feel safe being really powerful and successful and visible. It feels natural to you. It's your natural state. It's not normal to be sabotaging. I mean, it's normal, it's common, but it's not natural. Even if you're used to it. And you learn to avoid what I experienced, like having the first 5-figure month followed by $200. You can avoid experiences like that. You'll also learn the 7 signs of a beacon block, so you can be sure to recognize them before they actually come up to sabotage you and get rid of them. You have this tool for the entire life of your business. I mentioned I worked with multi-million-dollar business owners. I use the same tool. It's the same tool, no matter what level you're at. And this is like the primary tool that I use. Anything connected to money in my business is the intuitive healing process. Okay, so by the end of the Freedom to Shine program, you'll know how to clear through and permanently heal all 3 energetic money blocks so that you can make the money that you're meant to make. Okay, by the end, oh yeah, there's also 3 group mentoring calls. So that if you have questions, I want to make sure that you get this. Like, I want to make sure that this is working for you. If you have questions, I'm going to work with you. Or if there's a tricky situation in your business, I can use my intuition on the call or whatever way I can assist you. Okay. So let's talk about the investment. One way you can learn this is to work with me one-on-one. And my current consulting rate to have me guide you through all of these steps, just me and you. And also have me heal all 3 of your top money blocks, which is really awesome. It's a really powerful session. Assisting you in activating your intuition, teaching you how to heal your money blocks yourself. The investment for that is $18,000. And I'm not going to make a formal offer for this here, but if that feels like it might be of interest to you, come talk to me after. I would go over everything you get in the Freedom to Shine program. It would just be me and you working through it personally. And again, the best part is that I work with you to heal your own money blocks, the top 3. For those of you who know Callan Rush, she's a really big leader in the live event space. She's a former, or current, I guess, business mentor, and former. I worked with her business partner, Justin Livingston, and they were at high 6 figures back then. And I worked with them, and I heard him speak recently. He calls me one of his secret weapons. They went from high 6 figures to they're at 5 million right now in just a few years. And he's like, I don't know if that would have happened had I not worked with you. So yeah, one-on-one, you get your investment back when you're really ready to step up. Okay, so the investment for Freedom to Shine home learning program is less. You cover everything that I would do with you one-on-one, and you get to heal your biggest energetic money blocks for the life of your business. The investment for Freedom to Shine is $19.97. One client and friend who, she started out as a client, Karen McMullen. Now she's a really good friend of mine. When she first used the home learning program, and she went and healed that beacon block, and she had that room go from 40 to 120 within a week. And I never guided her through anything. She did it all on her own. Crystal DiDomizio is a prenatal coach from Vancouver who does really powerful work. She actually started off in sheer terror. She wanted to do workshops. She did workshops of her own, and she used to literally be crying on the way there, her husband dragging her to her own events. She was so terrified. She called it sheer terror, but she did it. He had to drive her, she told me, because she was crying all the way. She couldn't see the road. So she worked through that biggest block, and she had upcoming new workshops she never held before that she was really excited about. And after healing her biggest block, she was able to do that workshop no problem. And finally book more workshops that she could then fill, because before she was obviously resistant to filling workshops because she was going to be terrified. So it was completely gone. So obviously she was able to make thousands of dollars more that she couldn't have before. One of my clients, Joseph Gabby, the numerologist from Vancouver, healed his biggest money block. Within 1 month of doing that, he made an additional $10,000 while still being full-time working at a bank. So only part-time in his business. And shortly after, just months later, he left his 9-to-5 job and was at 6 figures, which is just amazing. Gifted person. These people are gifted, and finally they're getting their work out to the people who need it. To register for the Freedom Shine program, Layla is at the back, and she has all the information you need in order to register, so you can go ahead and get up and go to the back at any time. I won't feel like you're being rude. And for those of you who are online, Michael's going to be sharing how you can register as well. Okay. So there's another program I'd like to tell you about that's complementary to the Freedom to Shine program, and it's called Freedom to Shine Live. There's like the little kid in me is so pumped because I'm teaching lots of cool new things there. Freedom to Shine Live. Freedom Shine Live is a 3-day energetic money makeover. And for those of you who remember about the draw, it's coming up soon. So if you're on the live stream, stick around all the way till the end. Okay, 3-day money energy makeover. Where by the end you're gonna have moved through. It's basically, to me, my intention is to create like a massive leap. You're gonna leave different than you came in a really good way. When you heal the blocks, you feel freer. You feel more like yourself. You don't become someone else. There's nothing to be afraid of there. And it's a conscious choice. It doesn't just happen to you. So you leave Freedom to Shine Live having healed in a group setting your top 3 money blocks, which is really awesome. It's so powerful to do it in a room full of really cool people like yourself. And also, I recently have been following my not listening to my passion. I used to have Freedom to Shine set up in a specific way. I did it every time the exact same way, and my passion was like going down and down and down, and I was trying to ignore it, but I haven't. I stopped ignoring it. I've actually adjusted the program to the Freedom to Shine Live to give the maximum, share my maximum gifts, and to create the maximum transformation that I can. So what does that look like? I'm already receiving intuitive information for what's to be shared at Freedom to Shine Live for the upcoming workshops. There's one coming up shortly. So prior to the event, I'm downloading. Like, I have a whole 2 weeks blocked off before every single event for like what is specific to this group. What do these people need to hear to create that shift that they're waiting for? Also, yeah, so I customize the weekend to each group that shows up. No 2 events are the same because all the people who show up are different. I've had I don't even know how many Freedom to Shines, and I'm just amazed by each how different they are. And so now I'm going to customize the teaching to maximize that. One of my gifts is what my friends have come and my clients have come to call blasting. So what blasting is when I hear someone speak, I was hearing you earlier. I was like, oh God, there's this thing going on. So I blasted you a little bit about the marketing. I think you might have felt that. So what blasting is basically when someone speaks, we're gonna have hot seats at Freedom to Shine Live, and when someone speaks, I can hear what's off. So as they're speaking, I'm like, oh, something's off here, something's off here. This is one of my gifts, and I'll speak to it, bring you into alignment. And what I've done throughout the past, I've done that multiple times, and the person is transformed just within that moment of interaction. So you'll be in an entirely different vibration by the time you leave, and you'll feel so much better, and you're going to be so much closer to being in the beacon where you belong. Okay, so the investment for Freedom to Shine Live is $19.97. So Callan Rush received one of my 2-minute blasts one day. She was about to do an offer that she had done previously and made $40,000 with. Quick 2-minute blast before she went in. She made $80,000 the second time. So she doubled her results, and with like 2 minutes of a blast. A new, I meant to share that before. Michael Santanato, who is a love coach from Toronto, helps single women in their 30s attract the love that they want. When he first came to me, he was I think he was signing on average 1 client per month. Like that is obviously not being in the beacon consistently, right? I talked to him not that long ago, and he said every time he had a call with a potential client before, he felt completely nervous. He told me that just a week before I had emailed him that he had signed on 5 new clients in just 1 week. There was about $20,000 in revenue to come, and before that, he was like that would have taken 5 months, and that happened in a week, which is really awesome. And one client, Megan Alton, left Freedom to Shine feeling so different and so much more confident. She doubled her rate for her work, and she signed on the client right away at her new rate, which is awesome. Okay, there's a few spots left in the next Freedom to Shine that's coming up soon. We've got a couple locations. Phoenix, at the moment they're Phoenix and Canmore. And so Phoenix, for those of you who are in the States, it's easier to get to, or come to the mountains. It's freaking beautiful. Yeah, I guess I have to. Yeah, I want to mention a little bit of that. Yeah, it's either at the moment I'm either doing them in Phoenix or Canmore, which is near Banff. Absolutely gorgeous. Get out of your usual comfortable surroundings and come join me for a powerful 3 days. Yeah, so there's limited spots coming up in the next Freedom to Shine, and we're about to have 2 less. So we're about to do the draw. Do you have there's another. Ready? Yes. Awesome. Okay, cool. So there's another program I'd like to share with you about that's really complementary to both Freedom to Shine Live and Home Learning Program. It's called the Profitable Purpose Program. Now, the Profitable Purpose Program I created a while back. It's a downloadable program that by the end of the program teaches you what I believe is the #1 money-generating skill for coaches and healers, which is how to sell with authenticity and heart. And also there's some basic marketing in there as well. So by the end of it, you can have a sales conversation without feeling like a slimy salesperson, which you should never do. Sales should feel normal. Did I become someone else when I'm talking about the program? Am I someone else? I'm the same freaking person. It's supposed to be normal. Like you're supposed to be you. Yes, you. Otherwise, they're going to feel weird and you're going to feel weird, and it's no wonder everybody's running. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then in order to do this, it allows you to sell one-on-one in a way that allows you to care about the people that are your potential clients. You still get to care about them. Like I care about you, and you get to care about your clients. You, as part of Module 1, you get the Sell with Authenticity script. Okay? This is the same script I've used to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in income. I'm giving you my script. Okay. In Module 2, you learn the high income, high impact business model for coaches and healers. This business model is based on generosity and giving gifts. How many of you like to give gifts? Yes, thank you. It's based on giving gifts, and people like to receive gifts too, which is great. That's why I love this model. So you learn about that model. Okay.
Fia-Lynn?
Yep.
Question?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll wait till after. Yeah, thank you, because I want to respect time, and especially the East Coasters. Okay, so yes, in the 3rd module, you create your own free online gift that actually is a way to attract in people who can connect with you, who then can potentially work with you using a specific strategy. So then you can actually create a following of subscribers, which is one way to generate income over time. Okay, so the investment for profitable purpose is $19.97. And Layla, who's at the back, used this program, and recently she created a new program. She had 2 potential clients in it, and she signed on both of them. And she just met them randomly at things she was going to for fun, which is super cool. And a past client, Kellyanne, who is an intuitive love coach, she went from charging $75 per client to charging $3,000 per client and getting it using the system. Okay. So, and for myself personally, when I went from hundreds a month to thousands a month, when I more than tripled my sales after making $800 a month, this was the skill that I learned, is how to sell one-on-one. The truth is, it works best if you can do all of it. All of it. Because then you're healing your money blocks right away. Like right away. And you also get to participate live where you get blasted. You have the opportunity to get blasted. I mean, not everybody gets blasted, but some people will. If you come to the next one, there's a high chance of it because it's a nice smaller group, but the one after that's a lot fuller. Yeah, and the live is so transformational. We get to spend 3 days together. It's a total blast. It's fun, and you're gonna leave different than you came. So that to me is really important. Freedom to Shine Live. And also, you can't. I mean, the inner game matters. Like dealing with your money blocks matters, but it also matters that you have a way to generate income. And so, profitable purpose, I highly recommend. My first year that was 6 figures, 70,000 of that was made from one-on-one selling alone. So it's a really valuable skill to have. Now more than ever, I'm really connected to the idea that we're not meant to do it alone. In the beacon, you're not alone. You have tons of beacon buddies. Yes, that's a new term. Beacon buddies. Some of them you can meet at Freedom to Shine Live. You're not meant to do it alone. I've struggled so much on my own and gotten out of it. And with the money blocks, you don't need to struggle anymore. You don't need to live on the beach, in the beacon, on and off, or in the bushes. So I want to make it as easy as I can to make it possible for you to get all three. So that you can make the awesome money you absolutely deserve to make, and you can impact the lives that you are meant to impact. Like these people are meant to be impacted by you. So when you register for Freedom to Shine home learning program here tonight, and there's instructions for on the page for those of you who click on the link that Michael posts. Changed his name recently. Okay, so it's for only here for tonight. When you register for the Freedom to Shine home learning program, getting started right away, like you can just even zip through module 1 and module 3 and just get healing. It takes like 2 hours to learn that. Permanently healing your money blocks. And finally, learning how to be a consistent beacon of light. You can reach your clients, the clients that you're meant to reach and serve, being totally passionate on a consistent basis while you do it. You will receive, I'm going to give you, a ticket to Freedom to Shine Live for free as my gift to you when you register tonight. And also because I'm really practical. You cannot just do the energy side. You need to learn the money generating skills. And I created a program that is very effective, profitable purpose, and I want you to be able to just like have that happen. Create a new program, meet 2 people randomly or strategically, and have make money out of it like Layla did. So I'm also when you register for Freedom Time Home Learning Program, I'm going to gift you with Profitable Purpose as well. And this is downloadable. You can get started on it right away. So to be clear, you receive just about $4,000 savings when you register here tonight. I'm going back to Canmore tonight. And again, there's instructions online for you there. So to register, you can get up and go to the back. Layla's got all the information, the dates, and all those things. So you can get all that information from her. And just a quick couple things. For those who really thrive with this, they have a supportive environment around them. So if you have a business partner or a spouse, we do allow your business partner to come or your spouse to come for only $9.97, and they can actually participate in everything with you. The next Freedom to Shine Live is coming up shortly. Layla's got all the dates back there. Again, they're held in Phoenix. Why? Because intuitively I picked it, and I'm trusting that, and it's got good energy there. So Phoenix or in Canmore, and Canmore's filling up fast, so definitely you want to get back there and pick your dates. Okay, and if the dates don't work for you, I will honor this for the entire next year, or like actually for the entire, as long as I'm having Freedom to Shine, you can use your ticket. And I'm not stopping it anytime soon. Okay, so yeah, so you can go to the back to get the deal. It's got all the information. If there are financial considerations, I don't want that to stop you. I don't believe that you're called to something that there isn't a way for it to work. And I'm willing to work with you. We do have payment plans available, so you can talk to Layla about those. Also, I stand so solidly behind the work that I am doing and behind every program that is here that I want to make it completely risk-free for you. Register here tonight, show up for Freedom to Shine Live, participate fully, and if by the end of it you just feel like, no, this is not the value that I'm expecting, I will just contact the office, and I will give you your investment back for up to 1 full year after the program. So you can head to the back to get that guarantee. And I'm going to head to the back as well if you have any questions. And also, recently I've come to see that sometimes I really need to sleep on a decision. So if you are that person, we can work something out for you, but you definitely have to go to the back because as soon as you leave, it's gone. So connect with Layla about that. Okay, awesome. So I'm holding the vision. This is my vision. Is a world where coaches and healers are friggin' rocking it in the world. They're making awesome money. They're totally in their passion all the time. And imagine what the world would be like if that was the case. How much transformation would be happening in so many people's lives. That's what I'm all about. That's what I'm up to. I'd love for you to join me. If you have any questions, I will be at the back, and I'll answer any of your questions as well as the live stream before we go. So thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. Love you already. Thank you. Yay. Thank you, guys. Can we do the music, Michael?